At 80 years old, everyone I loved is gone, but what's left is more powerful than you think. This morning I sat outside, watching mist drift away from the trees. And suddenly it struck me. I'm 80 years old. In a house this quiet, silence doesn't feel empty anymore. It feels full. Full of memories, voices, and moments that once lived here. Over 8 decades, I've seen the world change, but more than that, I've watched people disappear. My parents, my brothers and sisters, lifelong friends, even the one person I believed would be beside me until the final breath. When you reach this age, you become invisible in a world built for the young. They rush past, worried about things that, from where I stand now, feel very small. They ask me what it's like to be this old. Some look at me with sadness, as if surviving everyone else is some kind of curse. But there's something no one tells you about reaching 80. When everything is stripped away, what's left is an emptiness. It's clarity. If you're young, lean in. If you're my age, sit beside me. Today I want to talk about what stays, when the phone stops ringing and the rooms grow quiet. The first truth I learned is this: we never truly own anything. Not our homes, not our titles, not even the people we love. I spent decades building a career, protecting a reputation, stacking accomplishments. I thought those things were solid, permanent. Now I look at my hands and realize they're empty, and that's okay. Houses get sold, names fade, achievements get forgotten. What remains isn't what you collected. It's who you became while you were collecting it.
The people we love are never possessions. They're gifts, lent to us for a while. When you stop trying to hold people forever and instead learn to appreciate them while they're here, something changes. Loss becomes less about being robbed and more about being grateful. Love is the only thing that doesn't get packed away or thrown out. It's the only thing that lasts. When you're young, you wait for the big moments, the big wins, the big trips, the big milestones. But life isn't made of peaks. It's made of the quiet spaces between them. If I could go back, I wouldn't chase more success. I would chase more awareness. More sunsets, more conversations, more slow mornings. At the end of life, what remains are thousands of tiny moments that didn't seem important until you realize they were everything. One of the hardest parts of aging is the loneliness. We were taught to stay busy, to stay surrounded, to stay distracted. Then one day the house is empty, and the only person left is you. Most people spend their lives running from themselves. But when you're old, there's nowhere left to run. And in that stillness, I found something powerful, myself. What remains is the relationship you build with your own soul. I've learned to forgive the man I used to be, the mistakes, the fears, the pride. Now I look in the mirror and feel peace instead of judgment. You realize, eventually, that you were never alone. You just didn't know how to listen to yourself yet.
People ask if I have regrets. Of course I do. I regret the chances I didn't take, the love I was too proud to speak. But the deepest pain isn't what I did, it's when I wasn't kind. Being right costs more than people realize. Kindness costs nothing, and it leaves everything behind. As the names in my phone disappear one by one, I've learned this. Winning arguments means nothing when there's no one left to argue with. So if you can, call someone today. Not to prove a point, but to say, I'm glad you're here. One day they won't be. There's a strange peace in watching the world continue without you. I see my grandson's eyes, and I see my father looking back at me. I'm just one thread in a much bigger story. And that's not sad. That's beautiful. There's freedom in no longer needing to be important, and joy in knowing you were part of something that keeps going. So what remains when everyone is gone? Gratitude. Deep, powerful gratitude for having been here at all. For loving. For losing. For seeing thousands of mornings rise and fade. I'm not afraid of the darkness anymore, because light never disappears. It simply moves forward. If you're listening, don't wait until you're 80 to discover what truly matters. It's already around you. Thank you for sitting with me for a while. And tell me, what is something you've learned to treasure as you've grown?